Let's get salty!
Everyone, Zeddy here again today with a brand new card review for the upcoming mini set Echoes of the Infinite, which is the Across the Timeways mini set. We have Warrior, Warlock, and a mix of Hunter and all these, because we got dual class stuff going on. We got a bunch of cards to go over, including a minion that can make a minion in your hand cost infinite mana. Why would we want to do that? I don't know. Mark will figure out a way. Regardless, if you want to win some of these cards, or all these cards, we are giving away 3 mini sets out of my pocket. To enter that giveaway, like and comment in the video. Link down description below, the one with that thumbnail over there. Be subscribed to the channel. Every 1,000 subs we get until the mini set comes out next Tuesday, I will add another mini set to the giveaway. So hit that sub button, make me go baroque. So starting off, we have a new Warlock and Warrior card, the Endtime Survivor. This is a 5 mana, 5/6 taunt. So right out the gate, you're getting premium stats and a taunt. And it also has Battle Cry. If your hero took damage this turn, gain +3/+3. So for 5 mana, you could possibly have an 8/9 taunt. That's pretty huge. And let's say you're playing Warrior and you have a weapon equipped, or maybe your Warlock can have a weapon equipped, as we'll see later. You could like hit into a minion and then play this on 5 and have a giant taunt. I guess in Wild you could like raise dead and you could automatically play this buffed. So on its own, a 5 mana 5/6 taunt, nothing you would ever play, although it's not terrible. It's not the worst thing in the world, but a 5 mana 8/9 taunt, maybe. But I just feel like anytime we get cards like this that are just one big stat bomb with some kind of requirement, they never really ever see play. Like they're never constructed valid. Like stats are rarely good enough and you need to apply condition that's not that hard. But at the end of the day, quite often it requires setup or more than 5 mana that it just won't be worth it. And you could get punished, of course, for having big minions at times and all that. I don't know. To me, it feels like an arena style card that won't see constructed play, even though it's premium stats, a taunt, possible upside. This is modern Hearthstone we're talking about. I'm going to give it a 1 in standard. Even in Wild, where you have raised dead and cheap ways to hurt yourself, I don't think you're going to play a 5 mana 8/9 taunt, even though, like, that isn't that crazy that I'm giving it a 1 across the board standard Wild, where, I don't know, maybe like, I don't know, what, 6-7 years ago with the C play? Maybe? I have no idea, but in today's game, I would be very surprised. Maybe I'll be wrong, but I don't see this as much of a meta card. I cannot say the same, though, about the next spell here for Warrior and Warlock, the Eternal Toil. A 1 mana shadow spell, deal 1 damage to a minion. If it survives, draw a card, so very different than Mortal Coil, which needed to kill a minion, draw a card. If it dies, summon a random 1-cost minion. So no matter what, you're going to get some upside with this 1 mana deal 1. You're either going to draw a card or you're going to get a 1-cost minion. And the fact that the draw card is attached to not killing makes this even better, because drawing a card on average is a heck of a lot better than getting a 1-cost minion. And you would imagine keeping a minion alive with 1 damage will be easier than killing a minion with 1 damage. So this is a cheap cycle card for both Warrior and Warlock. It could be a tempo card if you're looking for that too, to remove something. But overall, just a really, really nice card that, yeah, you could just slap it onto whatever minion on the board, get something going with it. Cheap card draw is always good. I feel like the tempo option won't be nearly as relevant, but to me, this is a card that will 100% see play, whether it's Warrior or Warlock or both. Like, it just, these type of cards always do. And I'm gonna give this, I'll give it a 3 out of 5 in standard. Like, I don't think it's like the craziest, like I'm gonna auto include it. It's gotta go into kind of more of a specific deck, but it'll see play, whether it's like Egg Warlock that wants to cycle or whatever, right? Like, it's just not bad. And again, Warrior, you have enraged strategies possibly, or just, again, cycling through stuff. It could be fine. Yeah, 3 out of 5 in standard. I'll give it a 2 out of 5 in Wild, because I don't know, like, there's not, it's very specific what you want to play in Wild, and I don't think this goes into any of the super degen strats, whether it's the Egg Warlock or you know, the whole Boar Warlock or Demon Seed. I don't see it there, so I'll give it a 2 in Wild. But one of the better cards we have seen so far, because yeah, cheap card draw is good. It just always is. And then we have the Warrior card, the Dimensional Weaponsmith. This is a 3 mana 2/5 dragon, so more dragon support with Battle Cry. give all minions and weapons in your hand +2 attack. So this is a big hand buff card, not only for your minions, but your weapons, if you're playing any. Right now, Warrior's not really playing any weapons that I can think of. They play the dragon that gives them a weapon, which won't work with this, right? It's not weapons that are equipped. They're ones that are in your hand. So you get a bit of a, you know, a weapon, or sorry, an attack buff on a bunch of stuff that could be okay. You really want to hit them like charge minions, or minions obviously that copy themselves and get more effects, like Bumbling Bellhop, for example, which does not see play whatsoever in Warrior, and I don't see this making the cut there. It's +2 attack. I feel like you really need to have specific weapons on top of your minions for this to work, because the weapon buff I feel like is way more relevant because you're getting that attack each turn, plus there might be additional synergies. There's just not a ton of great weapons right now, right? Like you have that 1 3-mana 2/2 weapon that deals like 1 AoE, and of course like the mech weapon that's rotating soon that I don't think you would care about this. I'm gonna give this a 2 out of 5 in standard, a 1 in wild where I think that'll be way too slow, although Sulthraze maybe with that OTK deck, maybe there, I don't know. But in standard, I just don't see enough like really good synergies for attack on either minions or weapons, but it's one that could pop up over time. And the 2/5 attack on this, or 2/5 stat line on this, is kind of okay, because we play a dimensional weaponsmith and buff this minion too. It's a 4/5, which is, you know, pretty good for 3 mana. And regardless, you're gonna see this card one way or the other with like discovering dragons and dark gifts and all that. So it'll see play one way or the other, but I'm leaning more towards a 2 out of 5 in standard. And yeah, in wild, even with Sulthraze, probably a 1-star card. We also have a Warlock and Hunter card here, the Chronoclaws, a 4-mana 4/3 weapon. So that's 12 damage. That's quite a lot over 4 turns, or sorry, 3 turns. After your hero attacks, discard your highest cost card. So I guess with the new quest, that's a way to try and empty your hand. Not the most efficient way, obviously, but something you can do. But this could just go into an aggressive deck that doesn't particularly care about card advantage, and it's 12 damage for 4 mana. Like that's pretty good. In wild, I wonder, in Warlock, you got like the Hand of Gul'dan, you have like Fell Barrage, or with a 5-mana spell. Like this could go into Discord Warlock in wild and be very, very annoying, because it's damage plus more damage or card draw, whatever you want. So wild Warlock, discard Warlock, we know is already pretty good. One thing they're kind of lacking at times is a bit more reach. Well, this is a bit more reach that has additional wild synergies. So this stands out to be more in wild. I could see it in standard as an aggressive card. Again, I don't see this really doing the quest thing. It's only 1 card you're discarding, but maybe. But I think that quest, like I said yesterday, I don't think is particularly great. I'm gonna give this a 3 out of 5 in standard, just because it's so much damage. And again, card advantage you might not care about. You might want to empty your hand, like the hunter deck that wants to empty its hand anyways and draw cards. This might be good enough there too, right? Like it's just a really solid aggressive card, and if you don't care about the cards you're discarding, or maybe it's beneficial, that's really solid. And in wild, I'll give it a 3 as well, because yeah, discard Warlock already wants to discard the highest cost card with their expired merchant already. It's not like you have to change your build or anything. This just slots into an already existing really good wild deck that I don't know if it'll make the cut, but it certainly has a chance. So yeah, a 3 out of 5 in both standard and wild. This card looks pretty darn spooky and aggressive. And then lastly, we have the Warlock minion, the Acolyte of Infinity, a 3-mana 5/5 dragon. So you're getting above average stats for the cost, right? But you get Battle Cry, set the cost of a random card in your hand to infinity, Death Rattle, change it back. So the idea of this card, you're paying 3 mana for just a 5/5. The downside is you're gonna have a card in your hand that's unplayable. You can never get to infinite mana, as much as Mark might try. That's impossible. But once this dies, it doesn't matter. The card goes back to normal. So you get an overstated 3-drop in probably Shred Warlock, right? That deck is pretty aggressive, and there's not a ton of great 3s, I think. Plus it's a dragon. We've already seen like dragon synergies in that deck, so that could be quite nice. And yeah, you're getting an overstated minion that you can just play aggressively, could curve into that weapon, It's not that bad. And the death, like the infinity cost card part of the thing isn't that big a deal on average. Like, yeah, you won't be able to play that card until this dies, but they got to kill this. It's a 3-mana 5/5. You can play early, or if you hit with like the gift wrap whelp, it's even bigger than that. I'll give this a 3 in standard too, just because Shred Warlock, pretty decent deck. I could see this going into there, pretty decent aggressive card, and the battle cry is not super relevant. Although if it does get silenced or transformed or whatever, you will get stuck with an unplayable card if this does not die. Traditional sense, but you're playing an aggressive deck. I don't think you really care about that. So yeah, 3 out of 5 in standard. In a wild, it's too slow. It doesn't really synergize with stuff. So we'll give it a 1, but I have thought of a Mark combo. If he needs some help, you can make a minion in your hand infinite. You could then play Ash Tongue. You could play the spell that gives Ash Tongue to your opponent. Then you can play Wing Welding, which will discard and do infinite damage to all minions on the board and kill your opponent. So I already thought of the Mark combo. I want to see it, okay? So yeah, that's all the cards for now. We'll have some more later today. Let me know what you think about them. And if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Have a great day and stay salty, my friends.